Thank you everyone for joining us. Quick introduction, I'm Deepa and would be your host for today. And this webinar would be more on the how AI supercharges articulate storyline 360 and rise. And allow me to introduce our speaker for today's session. We have Prasoon with us, the Chief Technology Officer of Stratbeans and also a certified articulate trainer. Prasoon is a visionary tech innovator and also a thought leader in the e-learning space. Thank you, Prasoon, for joining.
All right. Thanks for that very warm introduction, Deepa. And good afternoon to all the audiences who are joining from India. And I see special thanks to people who are joining in from other geographies. Good evening to you. And I think with all of you coming in today, I can see that there are some of people some of our existing client also. So hello to you. And the whole idea today is that in next 1 hour, what I wish to give as an ROI for your time is some interesting knowledge around, what are some of the AI features in Storyline and Rise. Now, I think Deepa, you have some bit of housekeeping work here, so maybe you can cover that, and then I'll probably move on to my slides.
Sure. So basically, before we proceed further with the session, I would request you to please subscribe to our channels. So basically, this is for you to keep you updated with the latest news and the announcements. The other housekeeping activity, in case you have any questions or queries, please raise it through the Q&A box. We will be able to answer it at the end of the session, say last 15 minutes, we'll keep for the question and answers. So that's from my side, and over to you, Prasoon.
All right. So let me just go ahead and share my screen now.
Okay, I'll just stop mine. Yeah. Okay, done.
Okay, so I think you all can see my screen. And this lays out the agenda of the day. So you can see an agenda having 4 parts. One is that a general guidance of how to approach Gen AI, because there's a lot of excitement around it. Sometimes there are expectations, but how to set the right expectation when you hear the word AI. Does it mean we as humans won't have to do anything, or how do we really play well with AI is the whole idea. And as a content developer, what you should keep in mind. Then we will straight jump into the real deal. I will show you few of very interesting AI features in Storyline and Rise. And then we'll summarize the whole learning. We'll see, what we achieved, and we'll follow up with a Q&A. There's a lot to cover, but I'll make sure that I bring the interesting parts, and so that I can know the audience better. There is a little poll, and the poll is about your experience level in Articulate. I mean, you could have not used, you're here to maybe just explore. You are a user who just started using, but may still not know, what are the, some of the features that could be of use. So maybe this session will allow you and open up a few things as a good start point. And for expert user, of course, there'll be some tricks and techniques that would be of use to you. So if Deepa, you can just kindly share that survey so that I know which way to drive the session.
Yes. So I have started the poll. If you could answer, that would be really helpful. We'll wait for 30 seconds or so for you to answer it. So I guess few more people have to answer. So far, we have received replies, quite a few. Yeah.
I think maybe you need to incentivize voting, there should be some prize,
So we wait for 2 more seconds, please. Please share your choices, the choice that is available on the screen, whether you have used never used Articulate, or you are an occasional user, or you are an expert? So I guess we are done with the poll. Let me showcase the results to you, Prasoon.
All right. So I think a lot of occasional user, there is a small audience which is not used yet. So yeah, so just keep hanging around with the ideas and the tips that I give you. But there are a lot of expert users. So I'm very happy to have some of the expert, because then you can accelerate. You can even later on, we can always check back and share some of the tricks on Articulate community if you're an expert user. So, all right, let's move on with the agenda then. So, as I said, the first part is, setting up the right expectation. I'll skip a few things. Don't want to be, this is part of my regular webinar that I do every Thursday on Articulate tools. Uh, so there is a hype cycle currently around generative AI. And we are right now in the trough of disillusionment. We are about to reach there with a lot of things happening, people trying out, some reality setting in. But how should we really be using AI assistant anywhere? As a master or as a slave? So the problem is, if you use it on the left hand side, you see this image where AI is the boss and you are like the reportee, then the results may not be as good generally. But the right way to play is the throne, you are sitting on it, you're using your knowledge. uh, AI is there as an assistant, a very good, a very fine, refined intern, or your assistant or a peer. It can act like that and give you very good results. So this is very important thing to understand, to set expectation. Many a times people may think, okay, I'll just instruct and everything will be. I press a button and everything will be created better than what I expected. But there's a little bit of work involved even in that. So a good master has to provide good commands. So that is the kind of flavoring. Another thing I will mention is that whatever I'm going to show you, um, Articulate providing you with all the features is almost like, the analogy is that like a Lego block. Now you may have your own pieces. There's a rectangular blocks. You will have these wheels. It is up to you as an instructional designer, as a content developer, how effectively you can use. And maybe if you can make this nice camera as you see, or this castle you can make, it's up to you. And so this is basically your creativity. But what we assure as Articulate is that you get this nice canvas colors, if you will, and then brushes, and then you can do good stuff there. So it is up to you whether, if you are, you want to make starry nights, that's your skill, you can do with that. Or what you see down below is the kind of uh, painting skill I have, so I'll not be able to use the canvas that well. But same thing with the Articulate. These nuts and bolts, how do you weave in, is your choice. So as an expectation setting, this session is not about the ID principles to be used, but mostly the blocks. And a good ID would be able to make it and maneuver it to the right, knowledge instrument that you will create. So yeah, I think that's so much so for the starters, setting up the flavor. Now let's jump into the tool aspect. For that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing here and I'll shift to another machine. I'll first start with the Articulate storyline, and then we will move over to Rise and see something very interesting in both of the software. For people who are new, Articulate has two different software. Storyline, which is, I would say, historically it was launched much earlier. It is basically desktop based software. Very huge audience. I mean, millions of people make use of it. And Rise has been, I would say it came after Storyline, and it is more web based. Yeah. So nonetheless, let me go ahead and start sharing my screen here. All right, Deepa, confirm to me if you're able to see my screen once.
Yes, I can see the screen.
All right, very good. And my audio is good. I hope there's no echo.
No, this is perfectly fine.
All right, lovely. Okay, so Let's look at what is possible with Articulate Storyline. Now, for people who have been using Storyline, if you have the AI assistant, there are various entry points. One is on the right hand panel, you see AI assistant. And if you go there, then you have so many things that you can do with it. And there are more entry points to that, which I'll show you later. But let's start, So I have taken a demo content over here. And the idea is that through that, I'll try and show you some of the very interesting features that are available. So the first thing is that imagine you had this slide, and you were making a course on effective listening skill, you know. So the biggest problem that people face sometimes is this writer's block or the IDs block when you are staring at your document file and you don't know how to start, or maybe if you're starting from storyline directly to storyboard, you may not know how to move ahead. So that is where there's a huge advantage that AI gives you. Um, so imagine there is this box and I press this AI button over here, and then it says, how can I help you here? So there's a prompt window open here over here. So I can say, so I want to create basically a content on introduction to course on effective listening skills. Because this course is on that, so maybe I'm trying to create a introductory slide. So that is where, as a very good, assistant, it will go ahead and generate, something over here. So you have this nice welcome to this. In this course, you will learn about these things, and then you can go ahead and choose to replace it. So you see, immediately you have this text over here. Now, again, it's the same reminder. It is generated basis its own understanding, but that is where you may then go ahead as a master and say, you know what, this looks too short. Why don't you elaborate it a little bit? So probably you'll go here, and you can make it longer. All right. Now with this looks quite full. Maybe it is too much for somebody. So that is where your role comes in. You can look at the content, you can modify, almost similar to how you work in your team. You have this reportee who has done the first cut work, and then you come in and then you modify a few things here and there. Now, again, my intent here is to show you all the, you know, nuts and bolts that are available. So the liberty I'll take is that few of the things that I may do may look a bit odd to you from a content development point of view. But again, I'm just showing you all the small pieces. So imagine I was able to create some basic content. I also have a chance to change the tone of it, So if I want to make it very, professional, I can do that. It could be casual. So you have a lot of flavors available to change the tone, So for example, let's just make it casual. Hey there. It's a fun course. It makes it more casual. So if you're happy with it, you could either replace it or you could go and insert below. Insert below helps you because then you have the original text that you had, original paragraph, and you can compare and cherry pick and choose. So for this particular thing, I'll just replace the selection. And nice, but somebody may say, what, it's too much of text. I would want it to be, say, how about we bring in some bullets here. So you could go down and you can say, can you convert it into a bulleted list? So maybe we can replace the selection. Of course, this may not be the best e-learning output in that sense, because you may have to, it's very abrupt. Maybe you need to work on these lines. But again, I'm just showing you the possibilities that exist over here. Now let's go over and see what else we can do. So for that, what I've done is that I have this piece of text. So imagine you have a course that you are already building, and it has this, somebody has written this whole text over here and you want to auto correct it. So you don't have to go to some other tool to do that. So the huge value add that you get with the AI assistant is that in the same tool, you actually have the feature of so many external tools that you may use. So to correct the grammar, to do some language correction, you don't have to really use. So you save money there and you kind of invest this money here in one integrated tool. Having said that, in no way I mean that you should not be using some of the extra interesting AI tools that are coming. But with this investment you make in Articulate AI Assistant, you get so many things which gives you very fast speed. So I may say, you know what, go ahead, fix spelling and grammars, So I think with this, um, it talks about active listener, passive listener, and let me just replace it. So as you see, the typos are gone. It has again modified it. So again, a huge supercharge in terms of, you don't have to really go to other tool. You can just do it here. And you will be very confident that the whole copy that has been provided to you is grammatically correct. Uh, and you can do all the things on top of it, just again to show the feature. Imagine you wanted to, let's say, highlight the key terms, you know, so you could do that as well. Now it is up to your creativity. So this is something I did because um, I just thought probably in certain situations you may want to highlight a few words, but you have another lot of fun stuff you can do on top of it. You could say color all the key terms in orange. Let's see. So it has got those dimension as well where you can make a lot of interesting changes. And it is up to you. I mean, you keep trying the AI prompt and you will discover new things. And on our Articulate community, if you're not part of Articulate community, a quick introduction is a huge community. One of the basic reason for success of Articulate tool was this great community. So if people post a lot of tricks and techniques, some of the things around, some of the best practices, so it's always good to refer to it. So see, suddenly you also have these kind of things. So I'm just showing you the dimensions. You could use it at the right places in the right intensity. So you could create your perfect text, as we call it. Now, one of the most interesting part that uh, everybody loves, because it enhances your course a lot, is that you could play a lot with the images. So you have this, so imagine this is effective listening course. So if I go here and let's say, try to replace this image. So you see this image, it may not be fitting in, a laptop and somebody. So you may want to create something very close to this context. So you can go and generate an image with AI. So let's see, maybe we can give a prompt of, uh, effective listening. Maybe people sitting in an office room, communicating with each other. So this is the prompt you give, and you have so many styles to choose from. So you could go, from abstract expressionism, minimal 3D animation, watercolor, painterly. So many, possibilities are there. And then you have this whole custom thing. If you have your own style, you can also use it. For this particular session, let me use watercolor. This is something I like a lot. And it has got this huge powerful image engine, and it not only it gives you one option, many option, and then you may choose to view one of the option that you like and you can replace it. Wow. So see, suddenly you don't have to look at the number of steps. So if you had to do it other way, you would have to instruct somebody, maybe a graphic design team. They will bring option, there'll be some small 15 minutes discussion and the image will be sent to you. If you keep adding up all that time, things that were happening in, let's say, 40 minutes would happen in 1 minute of thinking, 2-3 minutes of experimentation. In a realistic sense, easily 10x improvement. In 3-4 minutes you would actually be reaching that point where you have this very interesting visual added with the text. So in summary, you have this big support of AI on the text side and also on the image side. So text and image are very important dimension when you make courses. I hope you all agree with that. And uh, this is one of the very powerful things. So there's another slide, imagine, about passive listening, active listening. And imagine I want to do the similar thing. I want to maybe generate an image over here. And through that, I can show you a few more concepts over here. So not that you have to, you can generate, you have some control over the kind of orientation. You can have landscape images, you can have square, you can have portrait. So many things are possible over here. So let's just say for fun, I'll create a, you know, another image, let's say of people sitting in a cafe and sipping coffee. Not a great prompt, really. I'll agree to that. So let's do something else. So this is another powerful thing. So suppose this will happen to you. Believe me, it will. That you will not. This prompt is the new language, right? Suddenly, so you will not be able to think of a prompt. So imagine I can take from the context. Can AI tell me, that is the AI assistant that exists in Articulate? Can it help me with the prompt? So this is passive listening here. So if you go down, there are some very interesting, so there is one option that says, can you create an AI image prompt for this? So let's see what happens. So, I'm in fact trying it along with you. I did not do this before. So I'll just take this whole prompt that has come my way, and I'll copy it. I don't need to insert it because I'm using it in the image generator. So if I go to the image generator now, and with that kind of a prompt, let's see what do I get. And let me again be consistent, use watercolor, and let me just generate this image. So it doesn't really, it is more kitchen kind of a setup. So that is where, again, a real scenario where you may have to work on your prompt. And the way you do it is you remove certain things. So for that, suddenly this is somebody's, passively listening in household code. So I will make it so passive listening. We will say, yeah, uh, in a corporate setup, a contrast between it. So let's see what it creates now. So this is important thing. Remember, if you expect it to just work the way in one stroke, sometimes it is an over expectation. So you may have to work and fine tune. There are separate sessions I have, webinars where we talk about how to, you know, use some of these techniques to improve your prompts. But let's just say maybe I'll choose this one. I can insert this image. Oh, sorry. Looks like I lost that image. I So let me go ahead. So that reminds me that if you have an image that you've generated, you can also store it so that you don't lose the image like I did right now. So let me just make it quickly image of two people in active and passive listening mode. Let me generate something. And this time I'll make sure I control my mouse. I don't, accidentally delete that. So there's this add to media library. So imagine I want these images. I can actually add it to my media library. So this is now available in my media library. Why is it? So that you can use an image later on whenever you need. So imagine this was the image you wanted to keep. Um, Again, the same disclaimer, not the best image maybe for the course, but this is how you kind of use the existing text and then you modify it and you get an image which may fit your needs. Now let's get to another very powerful option, which is about generating text to speech, which I think people do know of. So in the AI audio generator for Articulate, there are a lot of features. Firstly, you have got so many voices that you can choose from. So you have, different voices from different geographies, different accents, different age group. Now, if in case you need a specific type, you can go to a filter and you can, let's say, let me generate a voice of a man, middle-aged man with a, let's say, an Irish accent, So in fact, let me go British because it looks like for that there's no voice option. So imagine I use George. I can actually listen to that voice.
God has given you one face, and you make yourself another.
Yeah. So let's use that. And then you could write your text like in any other tool that you may have used. But there's another additional option. The many times we suggest that in your notes, you put all your text that you want to add. So you can add it from a slide note also if that is available, you know. So I'm going to use this slide where I've added this note. I wanted to show you this note. And I'm going to use the same concept here. So I'll go to generate text and speech. I'll directly choose it from uh, the slide notes, and then I can generate the speech here. So
Welcome to our course on effective listening skills. We're
this is
excited to have
based
you
on
here.
Aria,
In this
middle-aged
course,
women,
you'll
American
learn the
accent.
importance of active listening and discover
Deepa, quick
fun
check, my
techniques
audio
to
is
improve your
reflecting,
listening
right?
skills.
We can
We'll
hear the
also share
Lovely,
strategies to
lovely.
enhance
All
your
right.
communication in
So another
personal and
superb option for
professional
you to explore,
settings.
it can also
By the
generate
end,
closed
you'll be
captions.
equipped to be a better
Yes.
listener.
So not
Let's
only
get
voice, but
started.
closed captions. Super useful feature. You can explore it further. You can insert this, and you will have, if you look at the timeline, you have the speech available, and you can actually, if you so wish, you can look at the, the closed caption available with it. Very powerful feature. Yeah. But one feature that kind of it's like which spices up the whole thing is that suppose people are we had this you can also add sound effects. So let's just say you wanted uh, maybe soft jazz instrumental playing, it will go ahead and generate those kind of sound effects. So this creates a very natural environment. So imagine you're making a course where you are showing a cafe on the street. Maybe you can add a sound effect which would show people walking and talking, So all that is possible. Now, as you go down, you can also choose the duration for your audio. So for me, automatically it is giving 2 seconds. It's too short. So I'll rather go ahead and increase it. It has got huge features, a lot of advanced features, which I will point to but cannot go to in this one single session. But let's generate the sound effect. So in Articulate, we have made sure that we give a lot of possible options because you may then be able to choose one over the other. So let's see what do we get here. Wow, see, can you hear this nice jazz music? You may say, Prasoon, this is not fun. You can try the other one or the next one. So there are 4 options available to you. But you can say, you can generate any other sound effect. You may say, people walking on street and kids shouting. But this is very unique feature in terms of the possibilities that you have. It is not text to speech, but it is actually generating sound effects. So let's see, people walking. I made a little typo, but that is where AI is quite tolerant to the typos. Let's see what happens now. Yeah, so noisy kids, if you want to add that effect on your slide, you can just go ahead. Show noisy Indian market, you don't have to really go and you can just go ahead and, add those features so easily. And you can increase the duration, reduce it. So many interesting possibility with sound effects. Now, there are few things I'll point and show, not dwell very deep into it, because I would rather spend rest of the session time on Articulate Rise. So you also have, this whole question generation engine. So you could generate question basis the entire content, or you could say, what, just take this much content, whatever lies there, basis that create a question, question or question bank for me. So what's your question topic? So let's say we make it on passive and active listening. Let's see, what do we get? So it generates a question, it gives you, choices, and your superpower lies with you. So you may say, you know what, make add one more wrong answer, for example. Or you could say, we want to change the whole question type. That is also possible. So see, it has added a E option as well. And if you like it, you can insert it in your question bank and it will get added. So it is creating a quiz slide for you now. And, this is the quiz slide. You can, a bare bones quiz slide is created. Now you can add your visual templates to it, make it look better. All the expert and basic user would be knowing these things. But yeah, so much of your time is saved in terms of creating the first cut questions. Of course, you may have to review, edit, correct a few things, but imagine the kind of time you save. Because even to create questions, sometimes you have to wear a very different hat. And even if these are not the best question, many times it will be very good question that I have tried. You get quite satisfactory answer. And if you don't get it, then it's just a little bit of nudge. You fix a few things here and there, and you get very good alternatives generated through that. And that is the very meaning of having very powerful AI assistant available to you, even for your quizzing needs. So yes, I think with this, I would not dwell deeper into this, but I hope you like all the various dimensions that you can use storylines, save your money in terms of the stock images, getting the exact images that you may like. You may create, text to speech. You can fix your grammar. You can do so many things, and you have this whole prompt available as possibility. So you're not limited by the options. You can do, as you use the tool, you will figure out many powerful ways of capitalizing on it. So lovely. So with this, I will move on to Rise. All right, all right. Again, a quick check from Deepa that everything, my audio, video, everything is in place.
Yes, everything is in
Been
place.
a
So we
great
can
help
also see the
because
screen as
I'm
well.
operating between two machines and sometimes you may have this technical glitch. So I'm happy that I'm back here with. All right. So let's do something interesting with Rise for the time that we have. And I'll try and show you some of the powerful features. A quick reminder, Rise is a web-based tool for creating e-learnings. And the biggest strong point is that it allows you to create content very rapidly. In terms of comparison, Storyline is more programming oriented. If you want to make something very lot of cause and effect chain, a lot of different things. So it's more powerful that way. The power of Rise lies in the fact that it's simple and you can add blocks. So everything in Articulate Rise is made up of blocks. So you arrange your blocks and that's how things happen. So let's take an interesting case, and build something, because typically in this program, I use this um, construction industry use case, but maybe some of the audiences have seen the session. So I didn't want to repeat the same thing. So I have brought in something different. Again, reminder, the idea is not to show you the best ID work here, but to show you nuts and bolt. And you as a content developer in IDs do your best job. Okay, so we get started now. Um, so with Rise, people who have used Rise, and if you have the AI feature, uh, so traditionally people will go with a blank course or would use an existing course templates. But wow, now we have this start with AI option, which is where the magic happens. And when you press start with AI, it asks you a simple set of questions to know your intent. So what is the course about? So imagine for this session, I wanted to make a course. Some of you may have heard about this Netflix culture deck, very powerful and popular. Netflix had this nice culture deck that they had created. And that was a reference point for a lot of people in HR. So I just thought randomly I'll pick up parts of it and kind of modify it into I just copy pasted the same content, just to have some content, and I changed Netflix to, let's say, Great Company, a company known as Great Company. And then, imagine that is the kind of content your SME has provided, or your first level of draft is available to you. What can you do is what we will show you. So, okay, so we're going to make a course. So what we're going to do is, what is this course all about? So this course is, let's say, about culture training at the fictitious company known as Great Company. Disclaimer, if there's a company by the same name, just be happy that we are making a free course for you for this demo. What is the audience? So it is always good. The more you tell to AI, the better it can generate new employees of, let's say, Great Company. And if you have any specific target, yeah. So the target of this learning would be, understanding about the culture of Great Company. Now here you have an option to upload your content so that AI gets your own context. If you don't provide that, it will go on a general context, So to really laser focus a bit on your own, you can upload an SOP that you have. So I created that document. I converted it into a PDF. You could always use the doc format, docx. PDF I did because I can easily open it up, quickly as we keep referring to this document. So it is processing this particular data. It has done it, and we continue. So while it is happening, I want to show you a couple of things, So one is that the fact I provided a document, it had a certain structure. So there's this concept of dream team. Then there is this whole thing about people over process. Just remember these things at a top level. You don't have to memorize the whole document. And then it is about an uncomfortably exciting artistic expression. And you will see it has brought in those elements: dream team, people over process approach, embracing uncomfortably. So it has given you this breadth first, before you go deeper into content. The AI, the power of AI is, again, it allows you to create some kind of a first cut, head start, reference that you can work over. And in each step, Articulate AI Assistant allows you this freedom to modify. So with that, you can add a lesson, you can remove, you can change focus. And by the way, you're not limited by this. These are more like bubbles available as a quick, a quick step that you may just want to click and use. But I can say that in lesson 4, add a bullet on, let's say, culture case studies. Okay. So again, maybe lesson 4 is not the right place to add, but like I said, it's just to show that the dimensions available with you handling your courses, knowing your context. You may be working in different industry, healthcare, insurance. You would know as content developer what changes. But see, it has inserted that section for you. So you're able to manage the whole width of the content, right? And so many interesting things you can do, but I cannot dwell all of it. But trust me on that. It is up to your, it's like this genie available to you. It's up to you, what you ask. But yeah, of course, AI has its own upper limits. Don't want to set an over expectation. But yes, a lot of things that you can modify and edit and reasonably wish it will do. Now, if you were using Rise, you would have at least spent 2 hours to do this kind of a work without AI. So you have all the, broad content created, dream philosophy, people over. So let's start with dream philosophy. Let's go ahead and create a lesson. Now, blank page, that's the thing that everybody fears a lot, right? So what it does is that there are AI blocks available. And if in case you don't know what to start with, you can actually go ahead and choose from one of the outline topics that have been provided, or you could create your own topic. You can talk about, basically why, uh, let's say why high performers are needed. May not be the best topic, but let's just say if something similar comes to your mind and you prompt it, it will work. It says, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to create a paragraph? Yeah, that's a good idea. So let's just go ahead and create a paragraph. So value of high performers, so it has created a section over here, and that's lovely. So see, this is how it is able to generate, and it can do all the other magic you saw in storyline. So I'm not going to repeat, make shorter, longer, change the tone, or you could ask it to, write another paragraph about it. So many things you can do. Or one of the fun thing is that now this is again a dimension that you can, for example, rewrite it in the way Donald Trump would speak. So there are certain dimensions I'm showing you. So you can bring in those kind of things as well. Now it depends on your course, of course. If you don't want to make it more casual and funny, you will not use such things. But these are the dimensions, available. So imagine I inserted below. So let me tell you, high performers are absolutely vital. I can start to imagine, Trump speaking that. So this is one dimension, and there's so many things you can do. But I don't want to spend the entire time on that. Let me quickly show you a couple of more powerful features. So one is that you can, if you look at the document, let's see this part. So we can pick up some material from our existing document, and suppose I transfer it. I'm not going to use AI for this specific part. So I'll add a block. This is a regularized thing, so you may add a text block, and you could, with a heading, and is a block is created for you, and you can paste your content over here. Now imagine I pasted the content. Now I can start working on it, so the whole AI features are available. You could improve the writing over here. So quickly it has made its edit, and you have this text available. It has changed the writing, and you can work on it. Now, so this could be, let's say, your what is a dream team? Let's just say some topic like that, and you have a lot of content. Of course, a lot of content is there, so you may review it, correct it. All that is possible. Now, one of my favorite part, without AI, suppose I had this wish that I wanted to talk about the core values, and there are these selflessness, judgment, candor, creativity, courage. These values are available. So how would you have done earlier was like this. You would have gone here, and maybe you would have chosen a block. Let's say you may have chosen a list, and then you have to probably go and fill that list. You'll come here, you'll edit it, and then you will replace these options one by one with the power of the best invention on keyboard, Control C, Control V. You're gonna keep adding. So it will be very repetitive task. And I'm very sure you may be relating with it, because this is what we have to do if you're not using the AI assistant. The third one I'll copy. And then that's it. So you see it over here, you'll edit it a little bit. But you don't have to do it this way anymore. You have this power of AI available. So this is how you used to create this widget. It used to take a lot of time. Now you could actually go to your AI assistant over here, and you use something known as a magic text export. So what it does is that it allows you to create, a process, accordion, tab, or whatever. So let's say we create a process. It gives you a rough structure. You can provide data like this, that you give me intro, title, description, steps. But it is very smart. It is even able to understand your existing structures. So imagine I copy this and I put it here, and let's just generate this block. So you see, suddenly, so you have saved your, this painful Control C, Control V paradigm. You don't have to do. You are done in 2-3 minutes. Just copy paste, and it is able to understand your structures. Then you may say, Prasun, but this is different from this, right? You were talking about a bullet point now suddenly. So yeah, I mean, you could go ahead and use some more AI features over here. For example, you could go here and say, no, I don't like this. Convert this to a list. So, in 1 second, it is here. and you could keep on doing this thing. You could convert this to a flashcard, you know. So here are your flashcards, right? But you may say that, what, for a flashcard, this is too much of a text. Maybe I don't like it, so I'll go ahead and edit the content over here. So imagine this is my content. I could go ahead and ask it to make it shorter. So yeah, it is not because it is not really that big. So it has not given you as much option. There are two options. You can choose one over the, but in this particular case, I would say we'll stay with this. And you could easily bring in the AI assistant at any point. Now let's get to the most fun part of image creation. So imagine I have this whole course available, I've done something and I want to create an image. Similarly, you could, for example, pick up this whole paragraph and you could go ahead and, create an AI image prompt for it. And you can copy this prompt, and AI assistant, just like you saw in Storyline, you can generate your images. So you put this prompt over here, and then you could use whatever style you like and generate this image, much like what you saw in Storyline. I just want to show the kind of analogy. This similar thing is available over here. So you could choose to download all of these images if you so wish. Always good, so that you can use it. So let's say I download one of the image here, and I may insert, imagine this. So it is about team. So yeah, pretty reasonable. You could invest a little time, tune it to your needs, but see, you get reasonable images that you can put in your course immediately, and your course starts looking beautiful. And then there are regular text-based things also you could do. For example, one of the things that I like is, for this purpose, I'm just reducing it a little bit. And I could go here and I can go to a block selector. This is a regularized thing, it's not AI part, but you have so many ways in which you could, show your message. This is too big again for this particular representation, but let me just shorten it a bit. So you get these kind of features already available, not part of the AI part, but regularly with Rise blocks, you have this feature. But you have another interesting thing where you can style things. So imagine you have this text, but you want to really jazz it up. So you can go ahead and maybe replace any image that you already have from that you pre-generated from your content library. So you can use your content library, or you could whatever AI images. Remember, I downloaded one image, so you could upload that image. So let me pick up one of the image I generated just before this demo. So it will be replaced with that. So it is uploading that image, and in a while. So this was again generated through AI image generator, and you can just keep adding layers on top of it. And this is how the power of uh, the supercharging of Articulate Rise happens with AI assisted. A few things I'll just mention because we've kind of run out of time, is that I just walk you through a few of the things that you can try out. One of the very interesting thing, I mean, I really want to give you this trick, that suppose you see a stock image. Imagine, let's pick up something. Let's pick up, mm, let me just, and imagine you didn't had, let me pick up this one. So, but you can use image references also to generate your prompts. For example, I will save this image as a reference. And now this requires you to be having ChatGPT or something. So this is more like a trick I'm telling on top of what you may already be using in Articulate. So imagine this is the image that you provide, stock image, and then you can say, give me a mid journey, which is, by the way, a AI tool to generate images, prompt for the attached image. So you're not limited by only text-based prompting, but you can take an image also and use tools like ChatGPT to get your prompt. And let's just see. So this was my reference image. And if I go back here in AI Assistant over here, and if I generate an image using this description, let's see what happens. So see, you got a very similar image. See, people, so there's another very powerful technique that I want to pass on to you. But within the AI assistant ecosystem, there's so many possibilities you have, and we'll be doing so many sessions. And we'll love to connect also with some of you who would like to know more. And if you have tried some of the techniques, want to share with us, write to me and Deepa. We can always share our notes there. Now, I think this kind of is the right time for me to wrap up. I'll only tell that there are a few lesson generation options also. Lesson summary generation, and you can generate your knowledge checks, much like we saw on the Rise. And yes, that's how powerful. That's how you can supercharge your learning if you're using Articulate Storyline. It's worth an investment. So yeah, that is where I'll come.
Thanks.
To the end of this session, I'll summarize it by saying that you have to try it, and this is a super powerful tool. We've been using it profusely. A lot of our clients are making use of it. If you're not using it, you'll miss out a lot. AI is the way. But yeah, with a lot of right mindset, you have to assess the AI. Then it assists you even better. So that's it then from my side, Deepa.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prasun. And we are open for the questions. If you have any, please feel free to write in the Q&A box. We have one question. By the time we can address that by, So basically, Prasun, Firoz would like to understand. He has mentioned that I'm a regular user of Articulate 360. And I can see AI has been integrated and showing on the page. However, I'm not able to use it. It is asking to ask your admin to upgrade. Please advise.
Okay. So this is more of a issue that you're facing. You're all firstly great that you're already a user, Feroz, and it's sad that you're not able to upgrade. That is where Deepa, can you come in and help Feroz out by setting it to the right teams? So
Sure.
Feroz, I think there's a separate team which can help you with that part. I'm more of a knowledge expert in the how to use the AI tools, but we will have it serviced. So yeah, thanks for asking this question.
Sure. Anyone, any other questions you have? Yeah. So we do not have more questions, but Prasun, if you want to highlight some more details related to the Articulate or Rise, that would be really helpful.
So I would say uh, I will only create a channel because the reason we are doing this webinar is that we want to be, there are various layers to it. One is that very authentically, this tool is very powerful, and it has all the right balance of features. Articulate has been like that always. We have never rushed on to features without, we always keep ideas in center. And idea is that very clearly, if you're not using it, you are losing out. It's not a salesy thing, it's for real, because like I saw, if time is essence to you, you do fast deliveries, you need it. Second thing is this creative dimension. So problem is that when you want to get creative, it may create a lot of side lanes for you to traverse. And with a tight timeline, you cannot. But this gives you the right to experiment, as I call it, right to experiment. So imagine you don't have to go to a graphic designer for this graphic change, or you have to procure an audio. You can try and create some references. Then you can pass on to your graphic designer saying, "Hey, this is how it is. Can you make it better?" So it kind of makes your job not dependent on someone else, but you could at times create references or benchmarks for others to work on. So that's another very powerful dimension. So that will be my note. And I would say, I would love to hear from all of you. These are our coordinates. My ID is rasoon@stratbeans.com. I am very interested in people who are actively using I love to discuss about tricks and techniques. And in case you have figured out something very interesting, connect with me and we can maybe have a joint webinar on some of the techniques, if that's an incentive. Or yeah, Deepa is there for everything. If you want to be knowing more about this tool, Deepa is your go-to person in that case. So yeah, that's it.
That was helpful. So we have a couple of more questions if you would like to answer that.
Yep, sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes,
we
sir.
have one question. So we have two questions. I'll just quickly share it with you. So we have Parvez. He has a question in terms of the text-to-speech and the AI versus currently there are no Indian male voices available in the AI options, including general text-to-speech. Is there a chance of adding them soon?
Yeah, so I think most of the people are from India, and that's a demand we have put to our engineering team. So yeah, I think you can have your hopes in the right place because that's a very big market. But yeah, at the moment we have a little different focus. But yes, we'll bring it. If there's a demand, we have to attend to it. Yes. Yeah.
So there's another question. I hope, Parvez, we have addressed your query. And we have another question from Firoz, wherein he is asking size of the image using externally is slightly higher when which increases the size of the module as well. While we have AI feature available for the image, that's slightly lower in size, or how is it?
So there's a very different answer to that. So you are right. I mean, the one side effect of getting access to a lot of nice image generation is that it bloats. Video is the biggest bloater, then image, then audio also. So overall, with so much of empowerment of AI, we are seeing that people are creating large module. So they maybe because of the size, they may have side issues. In your LMS, it may not fit in when you really go to deploy it, and you want to make your course leaner. So there are separate technologies. So if you're interested, we can talk about it. There are separate technologies there which are focused on actually reducing the size of your images that you have. But in Articulate, we have some bit of say consideration because we may not know to a very granular degree that what people want. So if you must have used Storyline, we give you a couple of options of quality. But for a more fine-grained, Deepa can help you point to some of the tools that are available which work in consonance with Articulate output. Maybe that's the answer I can give. But your point is correct. There's a lot of bloat people see because of this. It's the same thing. That long back we had this camera roll only 12 images. Everybody will be cautious. But with mobile, everybody is clicking every single moment, and that creates a bloat in your machine. Yeah. But there are tools and technology, so we can connect about it. Yeah, if you're interested.
Yeah. So that was the answer for you, Firoz. If you have any queries, you can always write to me. My email ID is deepa@stratbeans.com. And for the recording, we will, of course, would be sharing the recording as well with you for you to explore the features as well. Yeah. So I would like to close the webinar now. Thank you so much, Prasoon, for the inspiring session, and to all the attendees. We really appreciate your time and the engagement level you have bring in to the webinar. Stay tuned for more webinar updates and the event updates. We will be coming up with more webinars similar to this, coming up with new functionalities also. So stay tuned for our updates on our channels as well as through our emails also. Thank you so much and have a good day.